So it's been brought to my attention that probably no one in my current day core audience has any idea what I'm talking about. Hi guys! Thank you so much for clicking onto this video, and if you are new here, well then hi, hello, my name is Kai, and if you're coming back to my channel, well it is so fabulous to have you here with me today. In this video, I want to give you all a very basic understanding of what professional wrestling is, what its origins are, and all the lingo that you'll need to know for future videos that I have planned for this channel. My producer is insisting that this is the hot girl's guide to professional wrestling, but my only hope is that if you are new to the world of sports entertainment, you find this video informative. Very simply put, professional wrestling is a theatrical, action-oriented performance wherein two or more ring partners communicate a story through the medium of choreographed stunts. Not to be confused with technical wrestling, which is not choreographed, is not theatrical, and has absolutely no element of storytelling. You probably had this type of wrestling team offered at your local high school. Characters of professional wrestling are created and populate an almost alternate universe parallel to our own, where actors exist as both themselves and an overarching alter ego. Whether in the ring, behind the scenes, or on social media, we in the audience are meant to understand these performers by this alter ego at all times. Although this dramatic framework of character building and story progression is not a totally 100% inseparable aspect of professional wrestling, it is the part of this experience that I enjoy the most and find the most appealing. This story-driven approach is what you would find watching any WWE program. Their weeknight events portray characters rising and falling through the ranks of their respective rosters, losing favor, gaining fans, making friends and enemies, and sometimes even lovers. You watch their lives play out in locker rooms and hallways, bowels of industrial buildings, and of course, in the squared circle. Almost as if these characters never leave this place. Consider it no different than any workplace sitcom, or perhaps more closely related, a mockumentary. As previously mentioned, this is not a crucial aspect of professional wrestling, and if you prefer to see more action than you do drama, you'd probably enjoy watching AEW, the WWE's main modern competition. AEW, or All Elite Wrestling, doesn't necessarily employ the same degree of storytelling that the WWE does, and mostly focuses on building the in-ring talents of their performers. And if you're someone feeling bored of both AEW and WWE, might I suggest you take a pilgrimage out to an enchanted forest where you come upon a wizard, and once you have answered 3 of his riddles, he will tell you how and where and when you can watch TNA or Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. I mean that to say that I don't know anyone who watches TNA, but I'm sure those people exist. In order to fully understand professional wrestling, there's a few key vocabulary words and phrases that you'll need to be equipped with, such as kayfabe. This describes all characters and events that take place in this alternate parallel universe, while shoot refers to our actual reality. For example, Mark Calaway is the shoot name of a very popular WWE megastar, The Undertaker. When Mark Calaway is featured in-ring or in any aspect of the WWE, whether it be in a promo or in a commercial, he is referred to and understood by his kayfabe persona. It's actually very important that wrestlers uphold their kayfabe personas, and some go to great lengths in order to live these roles to the fullest extent possible. This, in my opinion, is the pinnacle of method acting. A great example of kayfabe blending into our reality is the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. He got a neck tattoo of his character's logo, and let me tell you, that is a major commitment. One that you certainly can never take back. Wrestlers can even be punished for lapsing in this regard. Take, for example, Serena, one of CM Punk's straight-edge disciples. In 2010, she was found to be drinking a beer at a bar when her in-ring persona had sworn to a life of sobriety.
Well, actually, she was let go because
she got a DUI for boating under the influence. This conflict of character eventually led to her dismissal following several warnings from the company to get her act together, for lack of a better phrase. Within kayfabe, characters may fall into a few different categories that help define their motivations, and also may inform how the audience reacts to them. A wrestler could be considered a face, short for babyface, and this has nothing to do with how they look. Think of this as the good guy, or perhaps even the fan favorite. Conversely then, you have a heel, which in this case is an antagonist, a bad guy. This is also where we get the phrase heel turn, which denotes a sudden shift in character or the reversal of a decision in an especially villainous manner. Adding more dimension, we get what is called a justified heel, where a character's heel turn is warranted or justified by events surrounding in kayfabe. The good guy was just pushed too far and now he must bring to task his new enemies. When 3 or more wrestlers form a group, this is what is referred to as a stable. Modern day examples of stables would be Judgment Day, who wrestles for the Raw roster, and Chase U, who wrestles under the NXT roster. Stables are a great springboard to create drama and tension, as it feels like they're really often only created in order to leave one or more characters betrayed or disenfranchised. You may also hear the phrase putting someone over, and in this case, the word over actually means the start of something new. It means platforming new or existing talent for the benefit of their character's story progression. Recently, we took a deep dive into the life and career of Mandy Rose. You could say that Mandy Rose was putting over Roxanne Perez when she lost her championship to her in order to start a new in-universe chapter. Wrestling has always existed in some form for centuries, even if it didn't always look like what it looks like today. Being born out of such carnival attractions such as strongman competitions, these combat sports were often used as forms of entertainment and even methods to solve disputes or settle bets. It's noted that even men such as a young Abraham Lincoln thoroughly enjoyed viewing this grappling style as a hobby or a pastime. Following the Civil War, it's believed that former soldiers would hold fixed matches to con unsuspecting spectators out of their money. Famous figures of this time would have been Colonel James McLaughlin and William Muldoon, both of which are considered America's first professional wrestlers. Remember that during this time, viewers believed that the matches were not fixed or choreographed in any way, but the media reporters of that time had great cause for skepticism. Their recanting of these stories portrayed these men in such a grandiose fashion that it led many to flock to these wrestling events. In between McLaughlin's standard fees and the money that he made placing fraudulent bets, it is speculated that he is one of the highest earning professional wrestlers in ever, when adjusted for inflation. It wouldn't be until the 1920s that it was widely accepted that wrestling was fixed or quote-unquote fake. But real wrestling fans know that there is nothing fake about the strength, ability, talent, charisma that goes into being a professional wrestler. In the 20th century, professional wrestling began to take shape in a more recognizable form to us today. Gorgeous George, or George Raymond Wagner, was one of America's first breakout superstars, not only known for his wrestling ability, but also his outrageous persona. In the 1930s, Gorgeous George would marry his wife in ring and was just amazed at the size of crowd that this drew. They decided to reenact their wedding in various venues all around the country. And this just exploded the potential entertainment value that professional wrestling could achieve. And it's also just very cute and very sweet that they got married however many times. In the 1940s, with his finger on the pulse of what crowds wanted, Gorgeous George would take his character to new heights, allowing the crowd to ridicule him for his overtly effeminate attitude. See, he was a pretty boy, and the fans loved it, and they hated him for it. Similar characters would begin to emerge in Mexico and Japan, two countries who also share America's love of professional wrestling, but this feels like it warrants its own video at a later time. All of this, plus the advent of broadcast and cable television, set the stage for what is considered the ultimate high point in American professional wrestling. Stars such as Macho Man Randy Savage, Ric Flair, Andre the Giant, Roddy Piper, and yes, even Hulk Hogan burst onto the scene at this time and are still very well known today and are considered some of the greatest wrestlers of our recent history. Wrestling had thusly adapted to better suit a televised format, focusing more on storytelling, character building, and taking prominent character traits to the extreme. Television also fast-tracked many performers into mainstream success and gave them new opportunities outside of the world of wrestling, granting many of them celebrity status. Bringing us to our current day, the WWE indeed stands as the most popular of all the wrestling federations, bringing in billions of dollars and millions of fans all around the world. From humble beginnings, the spectacle of professional wrestling has expanded to become an international phenomena, a force that commands attention from folks of many different classes and cultures. I truly believe that this is a medium that has something for everyone. Viewers are free to take wrestling as seriously or as lightly as they would like to take it, and they will find their subjective experience enjoyable. Independent wrestling circuits, however, can be found all across the world, even in my own home state of Arizona. Sonora Championship Wrestling or Party Hard Wrestling give our favorite pastime a much-needed local and earnest vibe. My ask of you wrestling fans is to not only engage with the titans of this business, but to also support the backyard federations working to prop up new talent year in and year out. If possible, get involved on the micro level and help keep the spirit and soul of wrestling alive. But that's all for our main event tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And as always, have a wonderful, beautiful, amazing rest of your day. Bye!